After my 29th birthday, I started thinking, how do I want to celebrate my 30th birthday? I've never enjoyed parties or performances, but I do enjoy conversation. So I figured, what better way to bring in a new decade of life than to look back at my music career and finally talk about that journey. And while I was playing around with ideas, I asked myself, who better to have this conversation with than the person who's been there every step of the way? Me. I appreciate those that have supported me over the last 16 years, and I hope that you find some enjoyment in me talking to myself. So this is just a little something from me to you. Whew. All right. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna make this work exactly. Obviously, talking to yourself is a little difficult to do when you don't really have anybody to bounce off of, but I'm gonna give it a try. And for this first episode, I'm just gonna, introduce it and give the backstory about, me and my journey into getting into music, and just let things kind of go from there. I got this idea, right? And bear with me while I try it out, but I'm going to try and have it be a conversation between me and myself, literally. So at least there's a little bit of back and forth, and it's not just me rambling. So I don't even know where to start with this, man. It's been so long. I started doing this at 13. Not really by any grand purpose that I felt like I needed to step into music, but just by circumstance. I always loved music. I've loved music since I was a baby. My mom would tell me stories about being in the car, listening to LSG, My Body, in the car seat. And, I think back, I remember that day, vividly. I remember sitting in the back seat in a little car seat. It had like little navy blue coverings on it. And we were in the parking lot outside of what used to be CVS in Hampstead. We were parked at the edge of the parking lot, and I was just in there chilling, just rocking, little baby Cam. And I've always loved music like that. I grew up in the church, so a lot of my musical influence came from gospel music and R&B music and, pop music, radio, whatever I was listening to with my mom. And I just find it so funny how all these years later, obviously I'm still so invested in music, but I make hip hop and rap. And that's really not where I even got my roots from. But, I digress on that. So Cam, you remember, when we were in middle school, we used to have a crush on, I'm not going to say her name, but we used to have a crush on her.
Yeah.
And we tried to play it off by taking Sammy, I Like It, and turning it into a song, switching it up a little bit, writing it out, trying to sing it for the girl we had a crush on.
Yeah.
So let me tell you that. So I was crushing on her heavy. And around that time, that's when I first really started dipping into music more heavy. I had found this iPod on the bus. It was this green iPod Nano. And if it wasn't an iPod Nano, it was like the small square one, whatever. I don't remember the generation, but it was a little square iPod, and I found it, and it was green. And it was loaded with music. I already had that Sammy CD because, that's just what I was listening to back in the day. But that little iPod, it had, it had the Game documentary on there. It had a lot of Lil Wayne on there. So, that's when I started getting into the music more heavy like that, right? And I don't know what possessed me to think oh man, I'm gonna use this music to get her to rock with me, It did not work. It did not work at all. You know that. It didn't work. And I took that moment and I was like, ah, man, music is trash. Like I let getting rejected in that moment try to convince me that making music was trash. Right. No, I get exactly where you're coming from, because it's like, that's somebody, at the time as a kid, that's somebody that you thought you loved, and
Right.
you use something that you thought you loved to try and get her to, reciprocate. We were kids, bro. We didn't know no better. We was just trying to do what we saw on TV and the music videos and everything like that. But, it all worked out for the best. I be thinking about when we were in the early college and they started talking about that the talent show, the open mic nights, right? Love the open mic nights. But I don't get to where I'm at now if it wouldn't have been for me getting signed up for those open mic nights, because I really wasn't trying to do it. One of my friends, they had the sheet, they signed me up on it, and I thought we were just goofing off. I didn't even really take it serious. As a kid, everything is, ha ha ha, everything is just a joke. And when I saw that and I was like, wait, what do you mean we got practice? Oh yeah, we already printed the flyers and stuff. It says you're on there. And I was like, oh, I don't have nothing. I don't do nothing. I don't do anything. So I had to go home that night and figure out how to write a song. Like, I remember being on Dad's laptop, just scrolling, trying to find like where to get a beat. What do you need to make a full song? All of that stuff. I had zero experience with any of that. And that was my genuine first song. I think the songs I did were I did this song called Draped Up that I got from, I wish I could remember. I think we got this song somewhere. But I remember going home trying to write that and just scribbling and trying to think like, oh man, I'm in way over my head. So finally getting that done, and then my time slot, I was just like, oh man, this song ain't enough. I think I had like 10 minutes and I needed a second song. So the second one, I just had to freestyle. I just had another beat and I just freestyled it. You'll never catch me freestyling again. Not like that anyway. No, I don't know what we were on when we decided to do that. Like, that was poor planning, but you live, you learn.
Right,
and those moments like that, they really solidify a lot of those core memories that we have about music and our relationship with it. Right. I be thinking back to all of that, like all of that pre-debut album stuff. And first of all, I don't really know the exact date that original open mic night was. I'd have to look it up. But I always just say from that performance forward, that's whenever stuff started getting more serious about music. Dang, man, I remember when we were at school and we really first started stepping into the music and stuff, and I was just researching, man, like, what do I need to do this? What do I need to do this? And I was like, okay, my dad got me a mic that Christmas after I first started and stuff. It might have been the year after that, that he got me the mic and everything. But that first year, I remember using the, what's it called? The T-Pain app? Oh, the T-Pain app. Yeah, the T-Pain app. I remember using the T-Pain app.
Right.
And getting as many songs done as I could, bro. And you know what? When we were using the T-Pain app, I really wish I still had that iPod and stuff. I would love to hear some of those songs now. We don't have any of that. We've really been doing this for a long time, bro. Like, that's more than half of our life that we've been making music in some form or fashion. And it makes me think about like all the stuff we did before the debut album, right? I can't even remember my first mixtape name. I don't remember most of those early mixtape names, honestly. And, just being honest with myself, a lot, if not most, if not all of that early stuff was really bad. But I was just exploring. I was just learning. I was trying to figure stuff out as I went. And I look at that drive now because, you remember we lost that. We lost all of that before. When the fire had hit and it burnt up the laundry room and it tore up my wall, I had all of that. All of my music stuff was on that wall that was burning up. So luckily, Dad was able to take the laptop and the drive and everything and get it recovered. So we got a lot of that stuff now. We don't have the original project files no more, but we at least got the MP3s, which, I probably wasn't gonna go back and change them anyway. Oh, absolutely not. Those songs got to stay where they at. It's great to reminisce, but I don't plan to ever bring those back out. Not too much. Actually, I do have the file for Draped Up, and I'll play that in a second just so y'all can hear a little clip of that. But a lot of those other songs, I can't let y'all hear those.
Feet, Louis on my knees. I'm rocking my hat sideways, no fleas. Homecoming dance, the dudes is on their steeds. That baby steady screaming, go and get some diapers, please. You thought you was gonna have some fun, you thought this was gonna be a breeze, but now look what you doing. You got a baby down by your knees. Okay, girl, it's alright. Just because you crying don't mean I can't look fly. But then I'm so fly, high up in the sky. My outer space jewelry got it floating by your eyes. You're asking me questions like, where did I get it? But if you can't afford it, man, you know we can't split it. No, you can't get it. It's my house. I'm draped up every morning just for my spouse. Got sweatpants on, somehow my swag ain't gone. Y'all dudes is in tuxedos, but my style is still grown.
Got Gucci on the boat, Prada on my feet, Burberry on my body. Ain't no one as hot as me, 'cause I'm draped up to dip out. Plans just to blow it, I got money, I'ma show it. So every time you look at me, I know I'ma be draped up to dip out.
Really welcome music, got a purple suit. I got one in my closet just for suits, is on the roof. 40-story house, you get the message now. I'm draped up every morning, even when I go to town. I ain't like other jerkers, I don't dress like a clown. But when you draped up, that means too much of everything around. Fakes, lies, subject to deny, innocent until guilty, unless I say otherwise. Oh yeah, that's right, your heart is full of lies. Your car is just so little, is there room inside your ride? Red and black exterior, white and red interior. Camaro on 24's face like a terrier. Young money, cash money. They call me Winnie the Pooh because I get mad honeys. And oh, they call me Bear, so you can call me Gummy. And oh, did I mention there's a rumbling in my tumble?
Got Gucci on the boat, Prada on my feet, Burberry on my body. Ain't no one as hot as me, 'cause I'm draped up to dip out. Plans just to blow it, I got money, I'ma show it. So every time you look at me, I know I'ma be draped up to dip out.
on my own mix. No time for me to go and make a people so I can hit you with my hit stick. Going by some lipstick. Girl named Ashley, man, that girl is so sick. No lotion and the elbows dry. Girl just pointing me and saying with this guy, but the street cam looking and I don't know why. But this my girl, I don't know why you even try. And she the fan of a fan and that fan is me. And I'm a fan of her because of how she sing. The parkour training got me running up the wall. And the girl so hard she got me running for the wall. Man, I get it in the morning, man, she put my food twice. I'm so wise, I was coming to my side. Pop up in a sprite, then the party go loud. And when you see me, don't think I'm a clown. I'm serious about what I do. I got a gold AK-47 strap for you. 911 urgent care. Let's get this man to his doctor's share. What to typify? That's a lot of bullets in you. But the subway section on the train tracks. 2-1 love in my life, and I don't know who. But let me see you looking, and I bust at you. You're so weird, you're so queer. Oh my mind, just look at my leer. Flying in the sky, flying in the air. If you see me, I might give you a scare. Ha ha ha, I am him. That one guy that never gonna smell. And if I do, it'll smell real fresh. I will step out the lemon, smell like a Greek fresh.
Gucci on the boat, Prada on my feet, Burberry on my body. Ain't no one as hot as me, 'cause I'm draped up to get back. Draped up to get back. Just to blow it, I got money, I'ma show it. So every time you look at me, I know I'ma be draped up to get back.
I cannot believe at one point in life, this was like the pinnacle of our capability. Growing pains for sure. But before we go further, I gotta stop for a second and just, be honest. I'm not about to keep trying to be two people at once. So from here on out, right, I'm just gonna talk into the void and see how it goes. Trying to make it sound like a real conversation is not going the way that I expected it to. Great idea and concept. Like if I had the time and effort to really work on it and script it all out, but then that's lame. Like why script out and when I could just let my mind flow and discuss stuff in a genuine way, So where was I? Okay, Draped Up, right? Y'all heard a little bit of Draped Up, and I think back then my dad had took me to DJ Tory in Wilmington. And, I went in there half baked. I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time in a studio. And I remember I wasn't nervous to do it. I've never just been like a super nervous and anxious person when it comes to being able to execute. But I did feel like I was underprepared because, I didn't bring a phone charger. And I had my songs on my phone, and we're in there recording. And at one point I did because I was trying to get as many songs as I could get done in I think it was an hour or two that my dad had paid for. Which, hey, I really appreciate him going out of his way to help me make that a reality at such a young age. Because who would have thought that him helping me and investing in that time for me would have propelled me to where I am today. But anyway, yeah, in that session, I think we worked on Draped Up. Again, mind you, I know nothing about recording techniques and songwriting structure and stuff. I was just, the beat had a hook on it already. I just had to write some verses. I was not good. I was not good. It didn't come out crazy, but I like using my voice, and I've always felt like I had a weird voice. So, things like that I was more self-conscious of rather than nervous. There's also a song in there that we recorded the second time I went to that studio. I brought my cousin Romello and my little sisters came, and I had them get on a song. Me and Mel did the I'm Coming Home, the Cole song Coming Home. Well, I think it's a Diddy song, but Cole did a version of it or whatever. We remixed that. That didn't turn out like I thought it would, but at that time, you couldn't tell me nothing. So fast forward, we get into the end of the session, and I want my sisters to hop on a song. And one of them recited Nicki Minaj's verse from I can't even remember. She did the verse from I know how it goes. Like, can I get that rum? Can I get that Henny? That one, whatever that song is, of Nicki's. And I don't remember what my other sister did. I got to listen to the song again. I'm not going to play it because they hate whenever I show that song to anybody. But to me, that's memories. You know, one of my sisters, she sings. Like, she sings for real. She'll never get on a song with me. It used to make me mad when I was younger. But as I matured and stuff, I realized, like, yeah, just because she has the ability to sing doesn't mean she has to help me. And as much as that hurt to come to the realization of, like, oh man, I'm always looking for singers and stuff. I got a singer in the bedroom next to me and she just doesn't want to do it. That hurt my feelings a lot growing up. As an adult, it still hurts my feelings from the past. Like, I'm not hurt by it now in the sense of, like, I feel a type of way about it. But in terms of, like, when I think back on it, I'm like, man, we could have been, we could have been like a dynamic duo, like sibling musicians. Like, think like, what's her name? Like Billy and her brother Phineas. Like, we could have been locked in, because now looking back at it, like, I produce now. Obviously, I've been engineering the whole time. I songwrite. I do all of this stuff now. I would have been great, but that's not what life had for me, for us, for that situation. My other sister, she has gotten on a song with me. She did a hook with me, and that was fun. She didn't write any verses or do anything crazy, but she layered one of the hooks with her vocals for me, and that's always a fun memory to have. But life gonna keep lifing. So back on track, right? I'm talking about all this stuff before the debut album, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, I've been by the time I started working on, like, trying to make an album, I was heavy into making mixtapes. I grew up, I was a preteen / teenager by the time I got into hip hop, like, real heavy. And I was on live mixtapes. I was on Dat Piff. What was the other one? I was on another one. I was on Hot New Hip Hop. I was getting everything I possibly could to try and, learn. And I remember downloading this mixtape from this dude in North Carolina from Fayetteville. And I remember hating. I was hating heavy. I was like, man, he ain't better than me. Mind you, I'm like 13, 14, 15 at this time that Cole is dropping mixtapes. And I'm like, nah, he ain't better than me. He trash. Realistically, I was buns. I was boo-boo at that time. But you couldn't tell me nothing because I was delusional. Like, I just knew that I was nice. And unfortunately, I didn't have anybody around me that was, like, trying to help me be better. So I'm really thankful that, I matured to the point where I could look at my stuff and go, this is the best I can do right now, but it's not the best I'll ever be. And keep working, keep trying to improve. But I remember sitting in computer class when the Who Dat video dropped, and I was supposed to be doing work. Like, I was supposed to be getting all my online assignments done in computer class. I wasn't doing none of that work, bro. Like, not like I was a bad student, wasn't doing work. Like, I was a fantastic student. But in that particular moment, I was only using computer class to download me. I used to bring a flash drive to school just so I could plug it up and download all the mixtapes because I couldn't use my dad's computer sometimes when he had to work. and I was using LimeWire on the laptop and stuff like that, getting viruses, BearShare, trying to get all these songs. And I remember like, hey man, I'm gonna use the school internet. Why not? So I'm downloading, I'm hate listening to Cole at that time. Like I was listening just to hate. And it took until I was watching the Who Dat video, and by then I was obviously getting a little older. And I had been working on a lot more music since I had first seen who Cole was. And I was like, dang, I'm really not nice. Like I got to step it up. So I started doing more styles of music, and I was just like, anybody who I saw was successful at the time, I was biting their styles heavy, trying to like, if I do what they doing, maybe it'll work for me. I remember like, I copied Tyga, I copied Big Sean, I copied Drake, I copied Cole, I copied Kendrick, I copied ASAP. I was just copying, right? Until I was copying Wiz, until I started really like getting my own stride and working, because back then it was just like remix, just drop verses on remix. That's how you get attention on YouTube, because I was putting videos up and I was, trying to get mixtapes on live mixtapes and that, all the mixtape sites. And after I did all of that, I remember this one, I can't remember her name, and I do apologize. I was in a Facebook, I don't even remember where I was on Facebook at the time, but what was it? Wiz released that song Roll Up, right? And I don't know if that was, I want to say that was before my first album drop. I hope so, so I don't get these stories out of order. But I remember this lady saying I rhymed too much. Like my end rhymes were, she said I didn't have to rhyme that much. And back then I was not very good with constructive criticism. I wasn't like angry, but it used to make me feel like, oh man, they don't like this, so I got to make something else. Which, grand scheme of things, that's not a bad mindset. I can make something else. But when it happened, it hurt, because, I was a kid and I was trying to do stuff and I was just still learning, and I didn't have anybody to help me learn. So I look at her comment and I'm reading through it, and I'm like, man, I do really need to step it up. And around then, that's when I was like, man, I need to stop doing remixes, because I'm getting, I'm getting disappointed in the reaction. And I was on the bus home and I just started writing. I used to keep a notebook with me, and I just be going. And that notebook, I still got it. It's sitting over here next to me. And I remember getting off the bus at the college campus, because I was doing the early college thing. I think I was like 14, 15 at the time for that class, maybe 16 already. And I lost that notebook, and I was like, oh man, all my songs, all my originals gone, all my lines gone. Got out of class, and my notebook was sitting on a chair. They just, like, somebody had took my notebook, wrote in it, left notes, and then put it back for me to find it. And I was so grateful that I found it. And then I flipped through it, and I remember reading those notes, and I was like, man, whoever this was, they took the time out of their day to sit there and grade my notes, like score out of 10, gave me check marks, X's, like, nah, this wasn't good, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I got to do better. So I really started focusing heavy on a lot of original songs. Like, I wasn't buying beats back then, because it was like, I didn't know that I had to buy all of these beats. I thought I could, like, if it let me download it for free, I was downloading it for free. And also I was a broke high school student. What money did I have to be buying beats? So I'm doing all of that. Trying to start writing more original songs, and I'm scribbling, and I end up doing, over this time period when I'm working on all these original songs, I end up doing maybe 5, 10, 15. Actually, yeah, I'll say 25 mixtapes or something like that. Now, all of them weren't like 10 plus tracks and things like that. Some of them was like 5, like what I know now would be like more like EPs and stuff, but they was all mixtapes. And I remember putting them out on like Hulk Share and Bear Share, things like that. Like I didn't really have nowhere to put them. But even then, I was like, man, a lot of these are trash. I used to just burn CDs and pass them out at the school, and people would listen, and I would see kids, listen to the songs in the car and stuff, and that felt good. But looking back, I'm like, man, y'all was gassing up trash. So I'm grateful that they were listening and stuff. But being honest with myself about that time, I was like, I really wasn't good back then. So all of that really translated heavy into why now remixes are so far and few. If I do a remix now, I really love the song. Or most recently, like when I was doing the note-taking mixtapes, that was a callback to me taking notes in those notebooks and doing all those remixes, because I just felt like that itch to do a few remixes again. But that's why I don't like remixes of my original songs. I just like to keep making more original songs. Man, I'm going on tangents and stuff. And I don't really even know where I lost track at. So forgive me. This is new to me. I'm just sitting here talking to myself about stories from my past, hoping somebody listens and can connect. But I'm gonna try to wrap these and keep these closer to like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm not trying to do nothing too crazy. But going back to school, like before, because I'm trying to stay focused on before that first album. Before that first album, like, mind you, this is after I've already decided I need more original songs. I get the bright idea to go, you know what? I need to start a record label so people will take me seriously. My dad helped me get some London Entertainment shirts made. I had London Entertainment business cards. Like, that was my company. That's what I was going to go with. And I remember signing my friend Brandon, Bambi, and we would be in school. Like, I had a full 20-page contract. And one thing I always said at the start was, nah, I'm not here to take money from people. Like, if I do a service for you and you pay me, great. But I'm not trying to do no scummy stuff like, hey, sign this, you get 30%, I get 70, whatever. Like, I wasn't on none of that. Also, I was a child. What money were we really making? So he gets that contract and he brings it back and says he had his dad look over it with the lawyer. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I didn't think I was being serious. I thought this was what we were supposed to do for the formality and stuff. But that was cool back then, man. Like I really started taking myself serious. And after doing all that and doing these mixtapes and stuff, I was like, man, I need some more. Like I need something that's gonna help me spread out, And I used to do this thing back in the day where I would cut verses out of songs. Like if I remixed something or if I made my own original song, I would cut songs out of verses and get the acapellas from the DJs online, like on the forums and stuff. And I would chop them into my songs. So I had this one song called Carolina Blue featuring J. Cole, and I was trying heavy. I was like, I'm gonna get this played at the Tar Heel games, at the at the Panthers game. Oh man, yeah. I was like, I was doing some stuff to try to really make it back then. And I'll play a little bit of that too. Hold on, I gotta look for that file. Yeah, I'll play Carolina Blue, so y'all can hear that.
I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina Blue, I bleed red when I'm dead. I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina Blue, I bleed red when I'm dead. pull triggers, calling people. They say they real gangsters, but they just strippers. Taking off their clothes, they metaphoric facade. They was Satan for the week, but on Sunday they were God. They want my old life, but I'm something new. Living for my family is what I gotta do. Never did it for me, I never blew on a tree. I never been in a jail, but society blames me. From house to house, learning to hold my tongue. Missing the life I lived, hating what I become. Me and Cole, some Carolina Kings. Future on my mind, need a Carolina Queen. Carolina blue, Kakalaki in my veins. Cold world, it's a whole new game. New friends, got a brand new name. Got some brand new guns, but the same old rain. I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina blue, I bleed red when I'm dead. I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina blue, I bleed red when I'm dead.
Cold world, the new Nat King. If I ain't the illest, I'm his new vaccine. Really more like poison when this new jack swing. And my bed is like a deck of cards, 2 black queens. Don't like me, he just a fucking hater. What you made last week, I just tipped the waiter. What that feel like? Tell me what that feel like. Twitter, your Twitter just follow me in real life. With my heart on my sleeve, I bleed. Pardon my greed, I plead insanity with a side of vanity. How can it be? I blew up single-handedly, nobody handed me. Granted though, I plan to be rich, understandably. Funny how I talk so candidly on cameras, but won't holler at family, only randomly. After a few drinks come my realest combos. My handle on my thoughts used to be as ill as Rondo.
I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina blue, I bleed red when I'm dead. I got tar on my heels, dirt under my nails. I'm a Tar Heel born, I'm a Tar Heel bred. Plastic cups and spoons with silver, I wasn't fed. Blood, Carolina blue, I bleed red when I'm dead.
So do you see what I mean by like, I was built different back then, dude. Like I was so focused on doing what I had to do to get where I was trying to be, man. Like now I would never do that now. Because that obviously I know I start getting into legal issues and stuff. But as a kid, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was just like, I got to do what I got to do, you know? Speaking of got to do what you got to do, I recall being like, I was recording, I think I recorded my, what was it? It was a gold cover. It might have been like a Careless World or something like that. That mixtape, I recorded that in the hotel room when my cousin came to visit from Texas. And she had brought her friend Maria and my uncles came. And we were just having a good time. But I distinctly remember recording in that hotel because I was like, nah, bro, y'all trying to play. I got to get these songs done. I got a mixtape that's supposed to drop. And I'm just like, dude, what was I thinking? Like, I was in a hotel. My family was here. I should have been enjoying myself, having a good time. But I've always been a workaholic when it came to trying to succeed with this music stuff. Even to the point of my first album, like my actual debut album, had a tie-in mixtape where I was treating the mixtape just like it was an album. Like I was doing my thing with that back then. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. So that mixtape was called My Name Will Go. And then the debut album was called Farther Than I Ever Go. Because my grandma always used to say, your name will go farther than you ever go. And I took that to heart. Like, and I still, like for a long time, that was the slogan for London Entertainment. It's only recently that I made a new slogan for 1033 because I wanted something unique to 1033. And that's, quality heart, quality art. I be thinking back on all of that stuff and parts of me wish I did it so different, but the other part of me is like, man, you needed to do all of that stuff to get where you are now. even though I don't feel like I'm anywhere, even though I feel like I'm very much still close to where I always have been, I'm not. You know, if I remove the vanity from it, if I remove the finances from it, the fame from it, I'm very far compared to where I've been. And I think all of that I went through before that debut album, it set me up. It set me up real nice to be able to have the mindset to work on an album solo. Like, right? Like, I didn't go to the studio for any of the stuff that I did before that first album. Everything was done in my bedroom. Or, you know, well, yeah, everything was done in my bedroom. All those mixtapes and stuff done in my bedroom, with the exception of the like 5 or 6 songs that I recorded in the studio at Tory's. And I look back on it and I'm like, man, I'm always so ashamed of all of these songs and all of this work. But sometimes I gotta like really take the appreciation, like take a moment to appreciate it all, you know? I'm pretty sure I got something from My Name Will Go as well. And I can play one of those songs so you can hear what that was sounding like back then. But after that, that was the debut. You know, I was getting ready to graduate from high school and from college. And I was like, man, how dope would it be to graduate and drop a debut album?
Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring. Make it all the way to the top, don't stop till they all screaming in pain. All I know is chase dreams, all I know is kill nightmare. Whole clip of these fiends, give my demons that death check. Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring. Make it all the way to the top, don't stop till they all screaming in pain. Okay, cop back, lock that, drop that, with a watch that, cause the time set, I bet I can top that, where your rhymes at, hold up, pause that, now what you think? When you in the streets, and your brother gunned down by your foe with heat, that could've been me, but I thank God I can make it to the top, and never flop, but I flip this beat and you haters gonna stop, rapping like A$AP, stop, cause you putting on that front, but you stabbing at they back, I say go to read this script, and we putting on this set, all I know is chase dreams, all I know is kill nightmare, whole clip of these fiends, give my demons that death check, Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring, make it all the way to the top, don't stop till they all screaming in pain, all I know is chase dreams, all I know is kill nightmare, whole clip of these fiends, give my demons that death check, Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring, make it all the way to the top, don't stop till they all screaming in pain. Okay, can't nobody stop me now that I become the prince. I break it down into them little bitty pieces and begin to demonstrate on my abilities and spit on all my enemies. When I murder every single beat, I leave from hemorrhaging. Maybe that's kinda graphic. Hit 'em with that traffic. Forget a hide and seek. Homie, I'm about to tag it. My war is kinda modern, but don't think I'm about to lag it. Then hack it because it's magic. Because you ratchet and I ain't interested with none of your actions. This angel versus a demon, it ain't no challenge. V5-4 on you thieves, you can have my old flows, homie, you ain't got a leash. All I know is chase dreams, all I know is kill nightmare. Whole clip of these fiends, give my demons that death check. Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring. Make it all the way to the top, don't stop till they all screaming in pain. All I know is chase dreams, all I know is kill nightmare. Whole clip of these fiends, give my demons that death check. Kanye in my bottle, sun kiss on my ring. Make